Hey, what's up everyone? Tedrick85 here, and today I'm going to be talking about the series finale of The Legend of Korra. Now, the finale was an hour long, and it comprised of two episodes, The Day of the Colossus and The Last Stand, which are episodes 12 and 13 of Book 4. I apologize for not having this video out sooner, but needless to say, I watched the finale last night when it came out on Nick.com, and yeah, right after I watched it, I had to go to bed because of work, and right after I had to wind down for a couple hours because of the excitement I got from it. And as you can probably tell from that statement, I thought the finale was really good. You know, I thought it was a very fitting end, and I don't know how Break could have possibly done a better job with it. Now, I know some of you are probably thinking, well, there was a bunch of unanswered questions, like who's Sue's father, and if Korra was going to get her past lives back, and things like that. But I think that's what I like about it, is that, like the original series finale, this one was open-ended and left it to the imagination of everybody that watched it, and let people decide on their own exactly what happened. Of course, now there's comics and that for the original series that answered some of the open questions that people had, like what happened to Zuko's mom and stuff like that. And I'm hoping the same thing happens with The Legend of Korra in a way. But if not, I'm not gonna be disappointed, because I don't think this finale gave anybody any reason to be disappointed or anything like that. I thought the whole thing was good. Now, how I'm going to tackle this final entry of my Book 4 vlog is that instead of giving like a synopsis or a recap of what happened in the last two episodes, I'm just going to talk about what happened to the characters in the finale, and I'm going to talk about my impressions of them. And the first thing I want to talk about is probably among the saddest moments of the finale, and it has to do with Hiroshi Sato, which I'm sure all of you already know is Asami's dad, and we saw her earlier in Book 4 trying to reconcile with her dad, and you saw how hurt she was, and she didn't even open up any of the letters that she sent, and she even offered to play Pai Sho with him, which they did, and you can tell that since he got incarcerated from the equalist movement, that he's a broken man, but I think he's realized what he's lost since that conflict and that, and he was telling them that Korra and her crew and everybody else that despite what he did, he's always loved Republic City, and needless to say, what he did I thought was wrong during the equalist movement, but I honestly do believe that he loves Republic City, and he is willing to do anything to save the city and that. And another thing I think is true about Hiroshi is that I really do think he loves Asami. Though you probably say, well, Teddy, he did try to kill her at the end of Book 1. Which is true, but I just think that what was going on in the whole heat of the moment, you get like that where people say things that they're gonna regret, and that it was a terrible thing to do. But like I said before, I think him being in prison for 3 years opened his eyes and realized just exactly what he's lost since he got his freedom taken away for allying himself with Amon and stuff. So, but yeah, he ends up helping Asami with the hummingbird mecha suit prototypes, and he sacrifices his life by cutting a hole inside Kuvera's giant mecha suit and ejecting Asami from the mecha suit, just as Kuvera swats him down with the mechanical arm of her suit. And you know, there's some people out there that are gonna say that he got his just desserts, and in a way that is true. But the whole thing I take out of this, and I'm sure some people do too, is that in many ways I think Hiroshi redeemed himself, not only in his daughter's eyes, but in Republic City's eyes too, because he was willing to put himself out in the line to help Korra and everybody stop Kuvera from pretty much demolishing Republic City. And he achieved his objective beautifully, because not only did he cut the hole in the suit and that, but he also reaffirmed the love he has for his daughter, and he wanted to let her know just how much he loved her and cared for her, even though their relationship would never be quite the same as it was before the Equalist movement. So I thought that part was really touching. Now, another thing I have to say too, as we're going in the theme of redemption here, is Milo. And you're probably wondering, what do you mean Milo has to redeem himself? Well, personally, I thought he was cute in the first three books, but I thought he was quite irritating in this book, to be honest with you. I just think, I don't know, it just seemed like for some reason his humor was kind of more offbeat than what it should have been. He came across as kind of bratty in a way, but he redeemed himself in my eyes by coming up with the ideas that he and the Airbenders would cover Kuvira's mecha suit with paint, or at least the glass of the mecha suit, so Kuvira wouldn't be able to see anything, while Korra and her crew and everybody else launch an attack against the mecha suit. And this idea goes by beautifully. Of course, Kuvira still managed to shoot the spirit energy cannons some, but oh no, this was a really brilliant idea by Milo, and I have to give the little guy credit. His idea was awesome, and it worked pretty decent. Of course, ultimately, it took a while for the mecha suit to be destroyed, thanks to Hiroshi cutting the hole in the suits so that Korra, Mako, Bolin, Sue, and Lin could go in there and infiltrate it, so Korra can get to Kuvira. But yeah, after this episode, I kind of got a little bit of respect for Milo, because he's not all, trying to be funny and stuff like that. He is a pretty smart kid, and I gotta give him kudos for that. And another one that had a brilliant idea too was Prince Wu, which I gotta say, this guy has really come a long way since the beginning of the book. He's a very one-dimensional character. I know I said this many times in my earlier entries of book 4. But the past 3 or 4 episodes, you can really tell that he's starting to take his role as the rightful heir to the Earth Kingdom throne seriously. And he's really stepped up to the plate and reassured not only the citizens and that, but he's also had plans. He had plans in front of President Raiko, Tenzin, Fire Lord Azumi and that, and he was also instrumental in getting the rest of the people that were stuck in Republic City out. And the way that he did this was getting 2 Badgermoles to help burrow in the ground, because the railway system was destroyed because of Kuvira's attacks. And seeing him use his ingenuity like that, it just brought a smile on my face. I'm like, way to go, Prince Wu. I was really glad to see him take this situation by the horns and make sure everybody not only was safe, but he managed to find a solution to what was seemingly a very, very big problem. And at the very end of the episode of the finale, you see that he is crowned Earth King, but he wants to just dissolve the monarchy altogether, and he feels that the monarchy is outdated in that, which Mako and Korra at the end agreed with him, and Korra even told him that she'll do whatever she can to make sure that happens. So I thought that was pretty cool. And pretty much wrapping up this whole idea of redemption is Batara Jr., which, of course, you saw at the end of episode 11, Kuvira's Gambit, where he pretty much got double-crossed by Kuvira by her shooting that spirit cannon laser at not only himself but Team Avatar, and I think that really opened up his eyes and made him realize that Kuvira is not the person that he fell in love with, or the great leader that he thought she was, in that. And you can definitely tell in this episode that it's really eating at him. And he even had a scene with Sue apologizing to her, and he says that it's gonna, and he says he doesn't know how Wei or Wing or Opal or any of the rest of the family are gonna be able to forgive him for this, which I thought Sue did a good job in this situation. She pretty much told him that they're family and they're gonna do whatever it takes, and you can tell from personal experience because of what happened between her and Lin. So it's definitely, Sue's just definitely not saying that. She definitely intends to making sure that family gets back together the way they were before this whole Kuvira conflict. So, and I thought that was pretty cool. Now, as far as the action in this episode, I have to say this episode had some of the best fight scenes I've seen not only in this series but in the original series. In particular, the final battle with Korra and Kuvira when they're fighting inside the mecha suit. The choreography was near perfect. It was almost something you see in a really good martial arts film. Yeah, it was certainly breathtaking seeing them go at, and you can definitely tell it was a final duel just because of the intensity the two of them had while they were fighting, and I was really happy too, which one of the things that in my last video that I published 5 things I wanted to see in the finale. You can say in a way that Korra did do this by herself. You know, once she got in the suit, she took the situation and she's like, you know, Kuvira may have beat me before, but not this time. And you can definitely tell that she meant business because not only did she give Kuvira a run for her money, but she was ultimately able to convince Kuvira to stop this war by telling Kuvira that she is not really all that different from herself. Which Kuvira didn't want any part of listening to it at first, but Korra ends up convincing her otherwise. So, yeah, the resolution of that fight is, what ended up happening was that Kuvira somehow got and found the spirit vine weapon at the, where all the vines were in Republic City, and she shot a blast near Korra. But she lost control of the weapon and she got thrown away. And what ended up happening was that Korra used energy bending of sorts and created this force field, if you will, around her. And the energy from the blast was so powerful that it ended up creating a third spirit portal. Which I wasn't quite sure what was going on at first, and to be honest, I was quite scared, because especially when they showed Korra and Kuvira facing each other, much like Korra was facing with Aang during Book 2, right before she got introduced to Avatar 1, and I was scared that she was dead at this point. I'm like, no, please do not let it end like this, and I was really scared. But luckily, we find that they were in a spirit world, and Korra was able to convince Kuvira to call off the war, and Kuvira even said when she came out that the Avatar possessed more power than she could ever hope to achieve, and that she owes her life to her, and she was willing to accept any punishment that would go her way, and she surrendered to the Republic City. And I thought that was pretty cool. And 2 more things I really want to talk about before I end this. The one thing I want to talk about, and it's one thing I'm really thrilled about, is Varrick and Jolie, them getting together. Not only them getting engaged, but getting married, because you can definitely tell that Varrick has always had a soft spot for Jolie, but he really didn't show it just simply because he ordered her around all the time and that, which in a way was comic relief, but at the same time, though, you got that sense that Jolie was waiting for something more from Varrick, and whenever I saw Varrick pull out the ring and ask for Jolie's hand in marriage, I was like, yes! And I was so excited, not only for him, but Jolie, because I know she's been hanging around him for so long, and she was waiting for that one moment where he would come around, and luckily they did, and and their wedding was absolutely beautiful, too, and it is funny, too, because at the end of the wedding, he starts crying, and then Jolie looks at him, and she's like, "What's wrong?" And he's like, "You just make me so dang happy." And I thought that was really cute because you get to see another part of his character a little bit. You don't really get to see him that emotional in that, but yeah, I thought that was really cool. And last thing I really want to talk about, which I really don't know how to put this, but Korrasami is canon! Korrasami is canon! Oh my gosh, you have no idea how excited I am about this. And, you know, people can spin this all they want, but the fact of the matter is that the last few minutes of this finale, you can definitely tell that Korra and Asami have come a long way, not only as friends, but seeing them walk together towards the spirit portal holding hands, that spoke volumes to me. And like I said before, people can try to say, well, you know what, Break was teasing us and stuff like that, but I and one of the things that that people I've read on the internet is that Korra's conversation with Mako right after Prince Wu was saying that he was going to dissolve the Earth Kingdom monarchy, and they had like an exchange in that, and people were saying, well, that kind of has meaning to it, which I agree with them. It does have meaning, but I think the meaning of that is that no matter what happens, Mako is always going to be Korra's first love. But I truly believe that he's not her true love. I truly believe that Asami Sato is Korra's true love. And even a scene where Asami comes up to Korra and that while she's sitting down and that, and she talks about how she was afraid that she was going to lose her dad and Korra at the same time, and Korra apologizing to Asami for not coming back in over 3 years and that, and I thought that was really nice, and yeah, you know what, and I'm still speechless by it because I'm just so excited that this actually happened, because I've been hoping that this particular ship would happen, but I tried to be realistic about this. I didn't think that it would happen just because of the whole stigma attached to same-sex relationships. But that final scene where you get to see them holding hand and not only embracing each other but looking at each other, I think that pretty much sealed the deal that Korrasami is not only for real, but it is canon, not only in my eyes, but in a lot of people's eyes too. And yeah, I've even seen a bunch of Makora shippers even admit that Korrasami is a thing. And the way I look at this, whenever especially they looked at each other, was that you ever see an elderly couple when they look at each other, like you can tell that they've been together all their adult lives. They just look at each other and you can definitely tell that they enjoy every second of each other, and they look at each other with how happy they are that they're able to grow old with each other and spend every single intimate moment with each other. That's the same look that I got whenever I looked at Korra and Asami looking at each other as they walked into the spirit portal. There's definitely true feelings there, and no one can deny that. And you can even see where they embraced both their hands. They got both their free hands and embraced them too. And so I'm just really happy about this. And not only do I think this is a victory for the gay community, but it should be a victory for the Korra fans. It should be a victory for Asami fans. And it should be a victory for fans of the show in general, because, like I said in my Should Korrasami Happen video, it shouldn't matter who Korra is with at the end. It's all about her being happy and fulfilling her duties as the Avatar. And you know what? If Korra being with Asami makes her happy, then damn it, that's how it should be, you know, because Korra deserves to be happy, and Asami definitely deserves to be happy after what all that she's been through. So but yeah, it's gonna take a long time for me to get over just how awesome this is, knowing that. And wow, you know, I could go on and on. I might make a follow-up video to my Korrasami video, but I don't know about that yet. But I just want to close off this video by thanking all of you guys for those that have actually watched my vlog, for hang around with me, not only for the last book, for this book. You know, I absolutely enjoyed doing these vlogs, and it kind of makes me sad in a way that I didn't start my channel like during books 1 and 2, because I would have loved to have done vlogs on those too, but I still might in the future, though it would seem kind of pointless, but at the same time I could have like a different perspective on it, since I already know what happens later on, but I could give like interpretations of what happened at that time compared to what happened later on in the future. But I don't know, I might do that, but yeah, this may be the end of the vlog, and this may be the end of the series, but I'm sure I'm going to be talking about Korra in the future. And I really want to thank you guys for joining me on this journey, and another group of people I want to thank is Brian Konietzko and Michael DiMartino for making this awesome series. And guys, if you ever watch this video, I join the Avatar fandom by saying how you have no idea how much this series has meant to everybody, and you guys are awesome. And it's not just because I got my ship was victorious and that, but the whole storytelling that you two are able to do, not only with the original series, but this series, you really have changed lives. And I don't think any of us could thank you two enough. And without getting too emotional here, I'm still kind of... My mind's kind of still racing at, but yeah, if you two are watching this, I just want to say thank you for all the memories, and we'll definitely hold Aang and Korra close to our hearts throughout time, because this is definitely going to be a timeless series, just like its predecessors. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I really have to say about this, and like I said before, I really want to thank you guys for joining me on this vlog. For those of you who actually watched it and that, and I've really had a lot of fun doing it, and you know, I know I'm happy because my Korra ship happened, but to all the Korra shippers out there, please don't take this as a loss and that. Just celebrate that not only that the show has ended and that everybody is happy and that, but this should be a time to rejoice what happened in that, not really focus on whether or not the OTP won or lost or anything like that. And it just saddens me to see all the negativity in that. And all the negativity in that, and there's no reason for that, because I'm gonna be honest, if Korra would have became canon instead of Korrasami, yes, I would have been disappointed, but I would have accepted it. I just don't see why anybody would say that this finale sucked just simply because this ship didn't go their way. And I know I've seen a lot of posts on the internet saying, you know what, this episode was good except the last couple minutes. I'm like, why do that? Why vilify an episode and a series just because of the last few minutes? Be happy for Korra. Be happy for Asami. Be happy for people that may not be the same as you, or people that feel like they're outsiders. Be happy for them for once. I know I'm thrilled for them. So but yeah, this is gonna be a time for celebrating in that, and you better count on it that I'm gonna be watching this episode again and cherishing it for years to come, and not only this episode and this book, but this series, because it's just downright awesome, and it definitely deserves to be talked about as one of the greatest animated series of all time, and I think Korra has earned her place as not only being a good Avatar, but a great Avatar, and should be spoken of in the same sentence as Avatar Aang. And that because you can definitely tell that she learned a lot in that, and things are just going to get better for her, and I know it, and I hope that there's comics that'll come out about this, and I just can't wait to see what the future holds. I know Break has no immediate plans for another Avatar series, but I really do hope that there's comics in that to keep this Legend of Korra craze along, because I can't get enough of it, and I'm pretty sure I can speak for most fans about that, and we just gotta wait to see what the future holds, and so... And I'm pretty much gonna end this video before I keep talking and talking and talking, and so, thanks again. I know I said that twice, but I just can't thank you guys enough for joining me for this vlog, and that. I know I had a blast watching this series, as I hope that all of you have, and this has really been a part of something special, and I'm grateful for being a part of it, and thank you for watching this, and hopefully I will see you guys again in the future and that, and join me for more endeavors on my channel. So see you again next time.